Let's start the penis. So it is the male organ of copulation and it is traversed by the urethra. So here you can see that is the urethra, which provides the both urine and the semen, the route of the urine and the semen. So it is capable of becoming hard and erect due to its engorgement with blood, a requirement for the intromission into that the vagina. Then the parts of the penis. So penis consists of the root and the body. So that is the root, it is an attached portion, so this one, and the body means that is the pre-pendulum's portion, so this one. Then the root of the penis, so this one. It is situated into that the superficial perineal pouch and it is attached to the inferior aspect of the urogenital diaphragm. So it compromises the three masses of erectile tissue, that is the two crura, so this one laterally present right and left, and the bulb of penis, so that is the centrally present. So each crura is firmly attached to the two crura come together and continue as the corpora cavernosa of the body of the penis. So here, then that is the bulb. So bulb is firmly attached to the inferior aspect of the perineal membrane, this one, and stretching between that is the two crura. The bulb narrows anteriorly, here you can see, and it is continue as the corpus spongiosum of the body of the penis. Then the centrally it is pierced by the urethra. So in the another diagram you can see. So this is the body of the penis and here that is the urethra, this one. Then next to it, that is the each crus, so this one, or the crura, which is covered by the ischio-cavernous muscle. So for this we can see the another diagram here. In this diagram you can see that is the two crura which is covered by the ischio-cavernous muscle, and the bulb, it is covered by the bulbospongineous muscle, so this one. Then let's see that is the body of the penis. So here again see that is the diagram. So this is the body of the penis. So the body of the penis is a pre-pendulous portion which is lies in front of the scrotum, and it become continuous with the root of the penis. So for this we should see that is the back diagram. So here, so here that is the body of the penis and this is the root of the penis. So it should be continue as the root of the penis, that is the body, and this is the flaccid stage of the penis and this is the erectile stage of the penis. So in the flaccid stage it should be present in front of the scrotum, and into that the erectile state it should be goes upwards and medially, so this one. So let's see that is the body of the penis. The body of the penis, it should be divided into the three parts. First, that is the body proper, so from this region to this region. Then this is called the neck, and the last one it is called this one, it is called the glans penis, this one. So let's see first that is the body proper, so this one. So in the flaccid stage it is long pendular cylindrical structure and which is directed downwards and the forwards, and into that the erectile stage it directed upwards and the forwards. Then next to it that is the glans penis, so this one. So it is the enlarged conical structure present at the distal end of the penis with sagittal slit like aperture on its summit called the external urethral aperture. So here that this one. Then the projecting margin of the base of the glans, it is called the corona glandis. So this one. So this part it is called the corona glandis. Then the neck. So it is an obliquely groove constriction just behind, that is the base of the glans penis. So it is called the neck. After then, let's see that is the structure of the penis. Structure composed of, that is the 3 elongated masses of erectile tissue. So this one, which is capable of considerable enlargement when engorged with the blood during the erection. So these 3 erectile tissue masses are include the 2 are, so this one, corpora cavernosa, and one that is the corpus spongiosum. So that is corpora cavernosa, or that is called the corpus cavernosum, and this is the corpus spongiosum. So let's see first, that is the 2 corpora cavernosa. So these are the 2 masses of erectile tissue forming the greater part of the body of penis. So they are forward in continuation with that the crura of the penis, and it should be goes throughout the length in close opposition with another, are surrounded by a common fibrous envelope called the tunica albuginea. So here you can see that is the tunica albuginea, this one, that is the common covering. So this tunica albuginea consists of the superficial and the deep layer. So this outer layer, it is called the superficial, and this is the deep layer. So this one. The superficial layer, it should be commonly covered the both corpus cavernosa muscle, and the deep layer, that should be covered the separately that the muscle. So here in this you can see. Ventral to that the 2 corpus cavernosum, there is presence, that is a ventral urethral surface which lodges the corpus spongiosum muscle. So here you can see that is the urethra. Then posteriorly, or the dorsal side, it shows that is the deep dorsal vein. So this one, and the laterally there is, that is the deep dorsal artery of the penis, and lateralmost side, that is the 2 dorsal nerve of the penis. Then the corpus spongiosum. So the corpus spongiosum, it is a forward continuation of the bulb of penis, and throughout its length, as it goes into that the anterior side, it extends to form a conical enlargement called the glans penis. So throughout its length, it is travels by the spongy part of the urethra. So this one, and it is also surrounded by the fibrous sheath of the tunica albuginea. This one. Then the covering of the penis. Then the first covering, that is the skin. So skin of the penis, it is remarkably thin, delicate, dark, and the hairless. So it envelopes the body of the penis completely and loosely attached to the facial sheath of the penis, and hence it is freely movable. So at the neck of the penis, it is folded to form a prepuce foreskin, and this prepuce foreskin covers the glans for a variable distance, and the prepuce is retracted during the coitus or manually. So the prepuce skin of the penis, so it is the fold of the skin which covers, that is the glans of the penis, and it is attached to that the neck of the penis for variable purposes. Then the frenulum of the penis, so here you can see that is the frenulum. So it is the median fold of the skin on the ventral surface of the glans, which passes from the inner surface of the prepuce to external urethral meatus. So it is highly sensitive. Then the preputial sac, so this one, sac. So it is a potential space or the cleft between the glans and the prepuce. So this space, it is called the preputical space. After the skin, let's see the superficial fascia of the penis. So it consists of the 2 layers, superficial and the deep. So the superficial layer, that is the devoid of the fat and consists of the loose areolar tissue, and sometimes it consists of the few muscle fiber, that is the peripenic muscles. Then the deep layer in the lower part of the anterior abdominal wall. It is condensed and forms the fascia of the penis, termed as the deep fascia of penis, or that is called the Buck's fascia. Then the supports of the penis. So the ligaments support the weight of prependulous part, that is the body of the penis, and they are two in numbers. So here first, that is the fundiform ligament. So here you can see this is the fundiform ligament, and second one, that is the suspensory ligament. So this one. So the fundiform ligament, this one. So it is a spring from the lower part of that the linea alba and split into two lamella. So here that is the two lamella, which enclose the proximal part of the body of penis and then unite its urethral aspect with the septum of the scrotum. So this one. Then the suspensory ligament. So it is the deep. So here you can see the suspensory ligament. It is deep to the fundiform ligament and triangular in shape. So it narrows. The upper end is attached in front of the pubic symphysis. So here, and broad lower part blends into with the Buck's fascia, that is the deep fascia of the penis, on either side of the body of the penis. After then, let's say that is the arterial supply of the penis. The penis that is supplied by the deep arteries of the penis. So here you can see these both two are deep arteries of the penis. Second one, that is the dorsal arteries of the penis. So here you can see the dorsal arteries of the penis. Apart from this, the arteries of the bulb and the superficial dorsal arteries of the penis. So these are give supply, arterial supply to that the penis. Out of these, first three pairs arises from the internal pudendal arteries. Then the venous drainage. So here in this diagram you can see that is the venous drainage. So the venous drainage, it should be occurs the superficial dorsal vein. So here you can see that is the superficial dorsal vein and the deep dorsal vein of the penis. Then the lymphatic drainage. The lymphatic drainage is very much important because of its role in the metastasis of the penis of the cancer. So it should be the lymph vessels from the glans penis. So from this region drain into that the deep inguinal lymph nodes, and the lymph vessels from the rest of the penis, it should be drained into the superficial inguinal lymph nodes. Then the nerve supply. First, that is the sensory innervation. So the sensory nerve, it is supplied by the dorsal nerve of the penis and the ilioinguinal nerve. So here in this diagram you can see that is the two. This is the dorsal nerve of the penis. Then the motor innervation, that is the muscles of the penis, are supplied by the perineal branch of the pudendal nerve. And the autonomic innervation, the autonomic nerves of the penis derived from the pelvic plexus via the prostatic plexus, and the sympathetic nerves are the vasoconstrictor, and the parasympathetic fibers, it should be work as a vasodilator.